What? Oh my goodness. Hold on, y'all. What happened there? I cannot see it. Can y'all see me? I can't see myself. Hold on. There we go. I was like, I can't see myself. How's everybody doing? So I think I told y'all Restream keeps changing. Let me know if you can hear me. Hey geek, what's going on? Uh yeah, so Restream keeps changing everything up on me. So it keeps messing up, or I keep messing up, or I can't remember what I did differently. Um but yeah, so today's stream, no interview, but we do have interviews scheduled coming up pretty soon. So next week will probably be FCAT. Y'all know FCAT from Cowboy Stream. Also, we look to have Jack of all trades here pretty soon. So that's an X Defiant streamer. I guess he's like more than just X Defiant, but we'll probably have him here pretty soon. Okay, you can hear me? Awesome, geek. Audio is a bit off. Sounds like it's not from your. Oh, that could be true. What about now? Can you hear me now? How about now? Hey, Joe, what's going on? Hey, I know, and I muted myself. I know. Okay, all right, I'm back. So I was just in Cali before, so I'm gonna show a purple in the wild. All right, here in a second. But I just want to say what is up to everybody. What is going on? Joe looks good to go. I don't know. I messed some stuff up, y'all. I messed some stuff up. But yeah, so we're gonna do that. I'm gonna give you all. If you can't tell, it's clickbait title. I'm actually doing an experiment here. I don't put PlayStation in my title, so I want to see if I do a negative PlayStation title, like if it's gonna do stuff. Don't worry, we're gonna talk about PlayStation, but we're gonna talk about Xbox because I think it's a yeah. It keeps like hold on. I don't know what's going on. It keeps wanting to go to the other mic, and I'm like, don't do that. I don't know what's going on. I keep what about now? Let me see. I don't know. It keeps doing the sound stuff. It keeps switching me off. Linza, true. What's going on? Glitch in the matrix. Yeah, it's a glitch. But here we go. Let me start this off. So purple in the wild. So I do want to talk through this clip. So this is thanks to Jeff Janak. So shout out to Jeff and his channel. So here we are. So I want to show this really quickly and talk through it. So if you can't tell, that person in the bottom right hand corner is me. So here's the story, y'all. I am like running around, and as you can tell, like people are like really suspicious of me at this moment. So I was in California this last week. So Monday I flew out. I came back like Tuesday on a red eye, and I was at Venice Beach. And so Jeff Janak was streaming, and so I was in his chat, and I don't know if he didn't think I was serious or not, but he decided to say like, "Hey, Purple, can you go find this area?" Because I was at Venice Beach, like this is literally Venice Beach, and that's me in the bottom right hand corner. And so I went out of my hotel, and sure enough, this was like 3 or 4 minutes away. So I walk, and I just start walking around, and like I can hear Jeff like on the video, and and I can't figure. I'm trying to find the camera. He's seeing me because he's saying he can see me. And shout out to Ambi, who kind of also is trying to coordinate me. And so I started like doing stuff. Now, the thing about it is there's a ton of people in this general area. You can't see them because they're kind of like under where the camera is. And and so I started like I'm talking to myself because I have my headset on and they're like, what is this woman doing? And I start doing weird things and they start like really kind of thinking I'm a little crazy. And and so the thing about it is like Amby and Jeff are like, go sit by the bench. And the thing about the bench was that the like I don't know if it was a dog or a human or what, but like underneath the bench there was like a lot of human like waste there. And there goes Jeff like waving back at me. If you can't see, there goes Jeff right there. He's waving at me. He's trying to tell me, and I can't see. I'm waving. Everybody kind of like spreads out. Um and yeah, exactly, Joe. Joe, Lo-Fi, everybody like left. Right? So like if you watch the beginning of this stream, there's like people here, and I think it's gonna loop here in a second. And as you can see, like they come back into the screen as I leave. Cause like I left the area. So but you see like there's like people here. It's not like it's just empty and I just showed up. It's like there were people there and then there's no one there. And that's me, just like I said. And this guy's like talking to me. He's like walking away because like he's talking to me, but I'm not talking to him. And this was like a common thing. Like there's a lot of people and then they just like move away. Like this chick, hey Robolic, how's it going? Just showing everybody like my experience on Jeff's channel. And if you don't know, like I said, I was in California this week. Jeff just I don't know where he got this stream from, this live camera of Venice Beach, but he did. And so I just want to like give him credit, for kind of telling me where to go. That's me, like I said, at the bottom right corner, just walking around, goofy pants and all. Yeah, I was and I started waving. I think when I really started waving my hands, that's when they were like, get away from this woman. And then I'm like talking to myself and I'm like looking in the sky and I'm like looking at a picture. It made sense to me at the time because I was trying to like figure out where I was. But I could never find the camera. But it also there's like 7 cameras in this area. And I kept thinking it was a different one. But yeah, so shout out to Jeff for capturing this called Google. I think they will be huge one day. Is that what it is? I still don't know how you still found this, but yeah, shout out to Jeff for coming up with the idea. Shout out to my hotel for being close to this place and Amby for all trying to make it happen. Google, Google, they're going to get broken up pretty soon. Or so I'm told. So I'm told. Maybe, maybe not. All right. It's kind of cool because I'm waving and Jeff's waving. And I thought that was kind of cool when I went and watched the replay. But yeah, so that's me. That's uh-oh. Where we go? That is a legit purple in the wild, and they all just scattered. They literally did. So shout out to like I said, shout out to Jeff. Thank you, Jeff, so much. And he was so kind to send that to us. So thank you, Jeff. And so yeah, maybe you will find a purple in the wild near you too. Geek, where are you? By the way. Also, I'm not a beach person. I figured that out on this trip. Actually, I knew that from a very long time ago. I just don't get along with beaches. I don't know. I don't uh, I don't know. It's really cold, by the way. It was really cold. But yeah, I came back and here I am today to stream with you all. So all is good there. I was in Sacramento 2 weeks ago. Nice. That's further north. That's really cold. It's really cold. You're crazy. What do you mean? I'm officially great. Is that it? Um, is that it? I'm officially crazy. I hit that mark. We'll see. We'll see what happens after, yeah, I don't know. I was look thinking back about it, I should have probably tried to get other people to wave their arms crazy like that, but, mm, you know, um, so we'll see, we'll see. I thought it was kinda cool that Jeff captured it and all. But we got a show and we got a Remy right next to me. Headed to San Diego right now. Ooh, further south, really south. I like watching sunsets in Lake Huron. Oh, Lake Hurrion. That's one of the Great Lakes. I know that much. Is it bad that I don't think I could name all of the Great Lakes? I know there's a Lake Michigan. There's a Lake Superior. Wait, Hurrion's not a Great Lake, is it? Lake Hurrion's not a Great Lake. Cold, it was in the 50s of your degrees. Yeah, Jeff, we're trying to figure out if Lake Hurrion's a Great Lake or not. It doesn't have a cool name like the other ones. It is. Like Lake Erie, Lake Hurrion, Lake Ontario, Lake Michigan, Lake Superior. Like, why does Hurrion not have a cool name like the other ones? Hey bro, hey chat, just popping for a few. Hey Mel, what's going on? For upload in the true, no worries, Mel. Y'all go check out Extra Life reviews. All his videos are amazing. What are you uploading? Let us know what you're uploading so we can go check it out. Is this a game we want to watch? Um, Holmes, Hurrion, Ontario, Michigan, Erie, Superior. Home. Oh, is that the acronym? I feel like I could Holmes, but it doesn't have a cool name like the others. Like Erie, Pennsylvania. I know what that is. Lake Superior because it's big. Lake Michigan because it's next to Michigan. I never understood that because there's a bunch of them. In Ontario, like it's province, but who's Huron? Huron. Who's Huron? I should know this. This is why people are like, Texans don't know. Look, I may live on the East Coast now, but I'm from Texas. So anybody who's like, oh, those those coastal elites, as they like to say in politics, no, no, no. Your girl, she from Texas. Okay. So you may want to call me East Coast, but I'm Texas educated or not educated. I don't know. Huron. Huron is an indigenous state. Hugh, 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 or Hugh. We have a Huron County. We have a Huron. Is this like Ron Slusher? I feel like I'm saying Ron Slusher's name right now. Life is showing double exposure. It's gonna be controversial, and it's a different type of video than usual. Ooh, Mel, do not get people upset. You know that game is gonna trigger tons of people. Tons of people who've never played a Life is Strange game are gonna comment on that video. You know what I mean? But all right, we have a Huron. All right, Rebecca, I will get it. I think it's Hugh. Is it? I'm saying it right though, right? It's Huron, like Huron, Huron, Laron. I think I got it. I think I got it. Is that the one with the Loch Ness Monster of North America in it, by the way? Because I know one of those lakes has like a dinosaur in it. I mean, like, I don't know if that's the one though. But there you go. That's where Bobalica likes to see sunsets over the lake. Um, I'm gonna hold to my thing. I'm not a beach person. I'm just not. I don't know. I like rivers though. Does that count? I want the new Life is Strange game, but Dragon Quest dropped today. What, my geek, you're kind of like edging into that category of people who play every game, right? There's like three people who I put in this category. Those people are TK9, Maker of Chaos, and Squids. Play like every game, okay? You're kind of inching in there because you play like everything. Like every single time you're like, yo, this just dropped. I'm playing it. I'm playing it. Um, yeah, there's a North America Loch Ness Monster. It's like in a couple of places. I'm saying positive thing. It's those who played it that hate it. The hardcore fans. It's oh, you're saying the real fans don't like this one? That's so many games. Linda Truth, you're like my Nintendo person. You and Any Oak, y'all are my Nintendo people. I know if there's a new Nintendo game, I know for a fact Linda Truth will play the new Nintendo game. So if I want to see like something new in Nintendo, it's Linz. Now Linz just doesn't stream Nintendo, by the way. But I would say if there's something coming to Nintendo, Linz will have it. 100%. And Inioke also, like, if it like, Inioke, she kinda does everything. She's probably the one of the few variety like, true variety streamers. Um, so yeah, I used to live 15 minutes from, like, Huron so that's why you have this soft spot for it, the Great Lakes. You know, I remember this factoid about the Great but I never understood how they could prove this. They said if the Great Lakes were to over flood or no, flood. I guess it's just flood, right? It's not overflow. If the Great Lakes were to flood 3 feet, the entire North America would be, submerged underwater, and I'm just like, I don't see it. I think that's one of those random facts that aren't true. I just don't see it. I don't I after flying across the country this actually came across my mind, by the way. Because you have to get kinda close to when you're flying and you look in the flight status and it shows you everything that's around you on the ground. We flew over the Great Lakes. Or not, we didn't fly over we flew by the Great Lakes, or supposedly the plane told us. I still don't quite sure about if we when you get in a plane, I still don't quite understand this concept, like, you get in a plane, you're flying or it's weird to me. But either way, supposedly we flew over this area and, I don't believe it. Like, I did the, like, math in my head, and, I think the places that would be flooded were, like, the places near the Great Lakes. That's what I'm saying. I don't have time to be a variety streamer. Well, if you have your game, hey, Obi Rose Kenobi. I was just thinking about you today, other day. Yeah, the true fans will grow me. All right. So, Mel, you're getting everybody doesn't you got the true Lord of the Rings fans don't like you. Like now you got the life is. These are totally different camps, by the way, Mel. Like not like different sides of the spectrum, but I don't think there's a lot of overlap between Lord of the Rings and Life is Strange. I I don't see it. Maybe nah, I don't see it. I don't see it. If they were to melt. Uh, no, what's to melt? The Great Lakes? The Great Lakes can melt? Like Lake Superior is the biggest or second biggest lake by volume in the world, bigger than some seas. Totally, I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying I don't think if the Great Lakes were to flood by 3 feet, that they would flood the entire United States. That's what I'm saying. I don't see it. And maybe the factoid that I remembered is wrong. Like, that is a good possibility. Like, again, I was educated in Texas, y'all. Gotta give me some break here, right? Like, I was educated in Texas. Not gonna say it's right. I heard if the ice caps melt, then it would only hit the Statue of Liberty's elbow, which ain't high. You saw the Statue of Liberty too. I don't where do they come up with this stuff? Where do they come up with this stuff? Like physics? If the Great Lakes flood, that would make more beachfront property for us, which will be awesome. In Canada? That makes no sense. It wouldn't go up, it would go down. It would go down, it would go towards the equator. Don't ask me why in my mind the water would go down like that, but in my mind it makes sense. If the Great Lakes flooded, they wouldn't flood into Canada, they would flood down into North America, into Mexico. Like, it would go down like that. This has to do with gravity. Is it has an island that has a lake with an island that has a lake. That seems like where they should bury a treasure. Make it a riddle. Lake Superior has an island that has a lake with an island that has to be the world's smallest lake. That's ridiculous. Hey, Cyberblow, what's going on? Why are we hating on Lord overlap? There's no overlap. No, we're not hating on Lord of the Rings. We're not. It's just Mel used to be Mel. If y'all have not seen Extra Life reviews, he used to be a Lord of the Rings streamer, or he used to be one of those people who would make really in-depth videos about Lord of the Rings, and then he got hate for it. Like, this is the thing. There is, I don't care what topic it is, no one can agree on anything. Like, people think it's just politics. Like, people are like, I wish we could go back to a time where it was simple. No, there is no time in history where there's been one topic and people all agreed on that one topic. I'm not buying it. I don't care. Uh, Sky is blue, Earth is round, aliens, no aliens, Bigfoot, no Bigfoot. Uh, what's the other one? Uh, I still don't quite understand the flat Earth people. I don't quite understand this one, but if you can get in a plane and go somewhere, like I said, I'm 80 to 85% of the way there to understanding you get into a plane and it takes you somewhere. It just really messes with my mind with time zone stuff. Don't ask me why. In my mind, it makes sense why that is. But yeah, gravity is why the water would go down if you believe in gravity. Gravity is just common sense to me. Yeah, I agree. Like, yeah. That's why when Jeff says there's more lakefront property, I'm like, Jeff, but you wouldn't get it. You wouldn't get it. Other people would get it. Okay, I'm buying her a science course for Christmas. No, no. What? Why do you need a science course? What did I say what was controversial there? I didn't say anything controversial. The water would flow down? That's controversial? That's not controversial. There's only one. Did you know this? There's only one lake that watch. Here are my Texas factoids and full display. There's only one lake that flows up. There's only one lake in the world that flows up. And that's the Nile. Really not sure about that, but I'm going with it, right? Cuz in my logic about the Great Lakes, they flow down. They flow down. And why does the Nile flow up? I don't know. I don't know. It's something to do with the Bermuda Triangle, I think. The water does in different directions. It all depends if you learn if the world is round or flat. Yeah, I think who learns the world is flat? That's a controversial topic nowadays, isn't it? Purple's head would explode if she learned she could get from the Atlantic Ocean to my house. Are you saying you live on the Atlantic Ocean? I feel like this is like I feel like this is like one of those standardized tests that are going on right now, by the way. Like y'all are giving me like is this a geography question or is this like a reading comprehension question, a grammar question, or is there a math problem? Like I need to know the subject that the question is in for me to understand how I would answer this. Up as in up in the sky? No, like up when you look at a map, if you were to flood the Great Lakes, the water would go down towards the equator because of gravity. The Earth is definitely flat. Ooh, sour blow. So, ooh, sour blow. Why would you say the Earth is flat? Now, granted, I'm trying to understand. Because when I look at a globe, I can understand why Earth is round. They have a globe. The color purple. Hey, Jack, I'll trade switch. We're talking a lot of science here, Jack. A lot of science. A lot of history, too. If you want to go up to Lake Huron, who would have thought? Who would have thought one of the Great Lakes was called Huron? No. It's the one that everybody forgets, supposedly. Gravity will always pull to the center, so will the north hemisphere point down and the south hemisphere point up towards it. What the F Holtz? Why Holtz? Why is it 3/4 of the time you type something in, I have to rethink this? It's a text. Gravity will always pull to the center. That's not true. That's not true. If I drop something, it goes down. You see what I'm saying? Like, what are y'all think Texas is bad? Look, they don't even speak English correctly over there in England. And they didn't. This is what they're teaching them. Holtz, it can't go down. It goes down. I could take a boat from New York City and get to my house without getting out of the boat. See, this seems like that stupid. You know what this is? This seems like that riddle with the farmer, the fox, and the chicken, and you have to get across, but you can't leave the fox and the chicken alone. That's what you just told me, Jeff. That's what that reads to me. I could get to my house without getting out of the boat. It seems like you're telling me I don't see. This is why you got to tell me what subject matter in the standardized test we're in, because I don't know where we are in the standardized. I don't even know if we're doing a standardized test now. This could be like one of those dumb tech interview questions. You know, where they're like, "Hey, you're given a blender and a marble. What do you do to save like penguins in Southeast Asia?" You know, like one of these dumb, like if you're trying to go work at Facebook or something. That's what this feels like to me. So, are we doing standardized tests or are we doing interview questions? Because that's a different part of my brain. If we're if okay, because here's sour blow. All right, so now they're in sour blows from DR. Okay, Dominican Republic. So I cannot vouch for the education in the Dominican Republic, but he does make an argument that the world is flat. So let's read this. If it were round, the world would be pointless. If it were round, the world would be pointless. I now need to know how you're defining round, and I need to know how you're defining pointless, and I need to know if you are doing a play on words. Because some permutation there will make sense to me, and one permutation will not make sense to me. Oh man, here we go. Oh man, sour on iron. Sours on iron? What are we? Full-time employment? What are we talking about here? FE, what are we doing? We will start with basic high school science and then move on to physics. Why does Robolica need Robolica has geography down. She knows where Lake Huron is. This is I don't know. I think Sour meant flat dome enclosed earth. What are y'all talking about? I've never heard of these things before. What are you talking about? Flat dome enclosed earth? I don't even know what you're talking about right now. I've never seen those words all together in one. That's a statement? Flat dome enclosed earth is a statement, Jeff. I took physics in high school. Robolica's smart, y'all. She plays The Sims. They got to know how to like make things work. I'm in Ontario too. Jeff, did you all know you had a great lake called Lake Ontario? I bet you didn't know that. Found that one today. Tech down is the center right. Tech down is the center right. What? Tech down. I, I don't. I swear y'all are saying things. I've never seen these words. I'm like, tech down is the center. Tech down is the center right. Are you asking tech down is the center right? Or tech down is this so center right equals tech down? Are we talking about a football player? Like, I don't understand. Tech down. Obier, y'all, this is okay. Can we play it and then bring on Holtz? I don't know. We're gonna get to. I can't even think anymore. What I was gonna say. I need to get. Oh my goodness. Of course, gravity goes to the cure. Gravity goes to the cure, as that's where the magnetic pull is. 7 was okay on words with it. Birth goes to. I don't know if y'all have ever seen this. He's come on this show a couple of times. Uh, oh, what's his name? Um, my brain hurts. I had a whole show planned out, y'all, and I can't think right now. I don't know what's going. Cammy, how are you? The surface of the Earth is 70% water. None of it is carbonated, thus proving the Earth is flat. What are you talking about? Carbon? Carbon? Oh my goodness. So in all there were pop science. Oh my goodness. Pop carbon. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know if you understand. I'm like really uncomfortable right now. Is it that late? It's not late. What happened? What chord does make sense from England point of view? Oh, I don't know. Holtz is talking in British again. Lincolnshire is where Toronto is. Everyone in Ontario knows where it is. He's from Ontario, not Toronto, though. He's from Ontario, not Toronto. So, oh my goodness. All interviews list this locality after. Oh my goodness. Y'all are. This is too much. Can you give up while you are behind and move on? I have no idea. Y'all are throwing. This is what happens. We can't agree on anything, y'all. We can't agree on anything. This is why. This is why. Y'all are throwing out terms and you're combining physics with interview questions with, I don't know, universal math. There's only 5 continents. No more Pluto's a planet. There's 7 seas. I don't get it. 7 wonders of the earth, but there's an 8th wonder of the earth called compounding interest, which I don't know. I don't know what is going on. All I said was, I don't believe if the Great Lakes flooded, that it would flood North America. I think it would flood what's on the Great Lakes. I actually don't even think it would flood what's on the Great Lakes. I don't even know. I don't even know what my name is anymore. Like, let me hold on. Let me get back. PlayStation, Xbox, PlayStation, Xbox. All right, y'all. This is called PlayStation. This is really confusing because this stream is really not about what PlayStation is wrong. It's about I was doing an experiment, and that's even confusing me now. Rename your pie podcast to Shape of Planet. Oh my goodness. You have a mortgage, so you have compounding. Oh, stop it. Oh, stop it. Stop it. Toronto thinks they are Ontario. Oh my goodness. Simpleton, how are you? Gosh, doggone, you would bring him in. All right, y'all. We're going to take this into our own hands. I have a picture to help me. I have a picture to help me about my next conversation. I actually don't know the transition anymore. Like, there's a lot I have to. Oh, wait, Nintendo Switch 2? No, there's no Nintendo Switch 2. Is there a Nintendo Switch? No, there's not. Look, I'm going to talk about this. I got an ad, y'all. I got an ad. All right, here we go. Man, what the heck? Why is this never showing up anymore? Oh, great. Y'all can't even see the ads. Y'all can't even see the pictures. Great. I can't even show y'all the pictures. What the heck? This is bad. I can't even see the pictures anymore. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, I had a picture here. I'm blaming. Can y'all not see that? This is ridiculous. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, this is. Wait, can y'all see this? Do y'all just see me or do you see a picture? Oh my goodness. I made her around Venice Beach. He did. Did y'all see the Earth is actually a giant flat pancake created by intergalactic chef named Flapjack? No, it's not. I know that's not true. I haven't seen that in the Bible yet, so I know that's not true. Are guided by syrupy waterfalls that flow into the abyss. That's not true. That's not true. You're learning. That's what you'll learn in DR. That's not true. That's not true. I know that's not true. We see you. You don't see what I have. Gosh, doghead. This is ridiculous. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. There's like a whole I had a whole little picture and now there's no picture. Oh my goodness. Um all right. Well, let me see if I can pull this up on something else, y'all. Hold on. So, this is about the Xbox stuff. Okay, so Xbox has made a new campaign. All right. Let me pull this up. Xbox has made a new campaign, and it's basically that everything is an Xbox. All right. So there's this really cool picture that I wanted to show that shows like all these Xboxes. Man, oh gosh, this dog will not hunt. I'll say it like that. And so this is what the picture looks like. It looks like this. Oh, great. It doesn't look like this. What happened? What is this? My computer's just breaking. I feel like that's what's happening. It's this picture. It's got checkers. Whatever. All right. Xbox has made a new ad campaign. I'm no longer even in the pic. What the? How is this even possible? What? Who is this? There we go. Okay, there we go. I don't want to touch anything. I'm gonna break something. I'm gonna break something, folks. Only have, she's still learning. No, it's not. It's they changed it. Restream changed this. Restream changed it. I have pictures. I have things, and they don't show up. They changed it. Okay. Well, anyway, Xbox has this thing that you can play. I don't even know what I was going to talk about Xbox anymore, but it has this thing, all right? That Xbox you can play anywhere with your Xbox, supposedly, right? And it's this thing about cloud gaming. I don't even know why it started off with Xbox. It was supposed to start with PlayStation. But yeah, that's where we are. Cherry, what's going on? I don't know what's happened. We got off topic because we started talking about physics and math, and I was educated in Texas, and they don't teach you shit in Texas. I'm sorry for cussing y'all, but that's what I've learned right now. And y'all are throwing out a lot of numbers and a lot of words that I've never even heard about. And so now I can't even remember about Xbox and what I was going to make about the point about Xbox, about putting everything everywhere. So, with that said, Xbox is putting everything everywhere, and I think that's a good thing. I think that means that cloud as a marketplace is expanding. Expanding, like expanding. Oh man, it's hard. It's hard when you lose your train of thought. I don't know where I was going with that. But I went there. Oh man. I don't know, y'all. I'm gonna have to like redo this one next week or something. I'm gonna have to just oh man, talk aliens. Oh my goodness. It seems like that's where I would be better at right now. I can't even remember where I had a whole thing. I had a whole thing, and I don't know where PlayStation fits in that thing. I had a whole thing. I know I had GeForce Now in there too somewhere. Gosh, it was such a good thing too. Like I thought about it and I was like, you know what? That's a good thing to talk about. I don't know what that is anymore. I don't know what it is. I can't get it back on. I don't know. I can't get it back on. I don't mean it like that. I can get it back. I can never mind. Never mind. How long till consoles are not a thing? Will it ever happen? Joe, I think you're going somewhere with me, Joe. I thank you, Joe. Thank you. We're here, Joe. I remember that's where we were going. So you started, Jerry, man. All right. So consoles thing. I think consoles will remain a thing. I don't think consoles will remain a thing for Xbox. Let me say that. Now, what I do want to say, and I had this whole thing about Rolling Stone too. I'm kind of upset that I can't show y'all the things I had because they don't want to show. Gosh, I'm kind of upset about that. But Rolling Stone, the magazine, publishing house that is, did a thing with the Xbox, and I was really excited about that because I like Rolling Stone. I like rock, obviously, but Rolling Stone actually does really great uh commentary and reporting. They do like investigative reporting, and so they talk to Phil Spencer, who's the CEO. He's the head of Xbox, and basically Phil Spencer said, "Hey, we're gonna have another console." Right. And so that was the whole point of me bringing up Rolling Stone. And that was the whole point about why X man, y'all, I'm trying. I don't know. Consoles will have to evolve. Let me get y'all. Y'all know where I'm trying to go with this. Xbox will reach more of the planet as we have X. Oh, cover the map. Both Nintendo get this and plays into their cloud and remote play. I don't even know where we get with Nintendo, but okay, consoles will have to evolve. I don't know about this one. I don't know about this one. I think you're going to have so that's my thing. I think that's a great question. Will consoles have to evolve? What do you mean by that? I think you will always will have people who have a simplicity of a console. So the reason I say that is because there's a market for consoles, meaning that there are hundreds of millions of consoles that I'm not saying there's billions, but there's literally hundreds of millions of consoles that are sold. So as long as you have hundreds of millions of consoles that are sold, there are still people who are going to buy said console. There's going to also be people who go to PC, and there's going to be people who are in the cloud, and there's going to be people who like whatever next comes up, right? Just your TV, which I guess is the cloud, whatevs. And so in my opinion, I've said this before, Xbox is leaving the console business. Like somehow I was going to get to this point, right? And because Xbox is leaving the console business, it begs the question, where are they going to go? Okay. And when we think about it from that perspective, it's like, well, Purple, you just said, like, hey, they're going to play everywhere. So that's a cloud strategy. But I question this. And then some people will say, well, Purple, they said they're going to have a handheld. Look, they're not having a handheld. Let me tell you right now, Xbox is not going to make a handheld. And that's not a bad thing. It's just that it doesn't make sense, right? Do you have Roblox? Robert Son, what? Robert Son, do you have any new maps for Fall Guys, by the way, Robert Son? If y'all do not know, Robert Son is one of our Fall Guys maps creators. So yeah, consoles will always be a gateway. They're user-friendly, plug and play. The difference for Microsoft is that will not be the only way to play Xbox games. I agree with you, Simpleton. I just don't think they're going to make an Xbox. Do I have Roblox? I don't even know what Roblox is. I don't think I do. I do have Roblox Bucks. Is that a thing? My console is my smart TV. Launch even with Bluetooth controller and go. See, and that's the thing. See, Joe is a cloud gamer out of context. Oh my goodness, I have no idea where we're going. Okay, the number isn't growing, and our sons don't care about consoles. They play on tablets and phones. And our sons, what about your daughters, Sourblue? Way to like just eliminate 51% of the population with that comment, Sourblue. Jeez, jeez, maybe your daughters want to play on console. Have you thought about that? Consoles are PCs in a small form factor or a low power cornholio. Handhelds are PCs in a smaller form factor than a console. So here's my thing. Totally agree that all these things are going to exist. Like, I'm someone who says they're not. I think, like, in my opinion, the people who make hardware are going to make hardware. The people who make software are going to make software. Xbox, and for the most part, Microsoft in gaming, is trying to figure out where they are. And I say they're trying to figure that out because they're always switching their strategy. Does not have any daughters that he knows of. Oh, she's Jeff. Y'all are getting me so I feel like we're talking biology. I saw XY earlier. I don't know. consumptions I meant. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to read this whole thing again. But yes, and so with that, let me get back to my thing. Let me get back. I'm getting my mojo, y'all. I'm getting my mojo. Uh and so, like, yeah, my whole thing is I think Xbox is trying to figure out where they're going. And this is the thing. Okay, that's where I was going to go with that. That's what PlayStation does wrong. PlayStation, if you look at it from an Xbox perspective, PlayStation does it wrong because PlayStation knows where they play. PlayStation plays in hardware. And so they're going to continue to hardware. That's what they do. Xbox, though, is going to software. And I believe that's totally okay. That's what they do. They software. And so when we think about like consoles, if you want a console experience, you probably don't want to go to the place that softwares. You want to go to the place that hardwares, right? And that's totally okay. When we think about like cloud in general, I think cloud will always be a thing, but I also think it's always going to have limitations. And GFN is actually showing us what some of those limitations are. Right. So there was a big thing last week, I think on my Saturday stream. It was the first time it was brought to my attention. But, there was this thing, and I kind of got into a conversation with a few people online about the GFN data caps. Would we call it a data cap? We call it an hourly cap, a play cap. Hey, Iconic Video Games, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. What's your favorite iconic video game, if I may not ask, with a name like that? But children in general don't care about where they play. They don't, but they will. I think that's the thing. They will eventually. It's like record players. Did y'all know that? Like vinyl is a thing. Like that vinyl sales are like there was a time in our lives where vinyl, right, gave way to like 8-track, but then vinyl like outlasted 8-track, and then you got cassette players. And then there was like a time where cassettes outstripped vinyl for sales, and then you had CDs that outstripped cassette players. And it's all about really the data if you think about it. But now vinyl is outpacing, I think, cassettes and CDs. And so I always feel like there's like history repeats itself. Doggy Doug 420. What's up, Dougie Doug? Um, so like that's chat, tell me 5 words and I'll tell you to make it into a fog. Cannot be ban worthy words. He will do it. He makes maps and we will play it. But that's what I'm saying. I think there's always going to be a console experience because it's going to be like retro. It's always going to be a thing. But I also think cloud, and that's always going to be expensive. And this is my thing with GFN. Some people are asking, why would GFN raise the price? If you ask me, it makes perfect sense. GFN is probably the most fidelity, performance mode, you name it, streaming cloud service there is. Some people would say Boosteroid. I still think it's GFN. In that costs money, right? Not necessarily to you as the end user because you have your internet, but from the people who are actually streaming it, where the data actually is coming from, that costs money. And if you recall, like during Stadia, this was kind of a conversation during Stadia, right? With Stadia, you could get like free, just buy the game and free. Crow Resin would say this is why Stadia is shut down. But you could actually just buy the game and stream the game for free. You can technically do that with Amazon Luna. And that's at 1080p. And 1080p is actually decent. But when you make the jump to 480, the cost to stream jumps significantly. Right? So this is the same thing if you have like Amazon Prime and you want to stream a video in standard versus high definition. Or HBO Max, you name it. They charge you more. But GFN takes it like a step further, right? When you're streaming at 3080, so that's like what is it? I don't know. The premier tier, I forget what it's called. The performance tier, that's decent. But every single time GFN increases its fidelity, so where they're saying like, "Hey, you get this at a 3080 level. You get this at a 4080 level. You get this at a 5080 level." Every single time they do that, you're actually streaming more data. And as you're streaming more data, it's going to cost them more. And so what we found out is that 6% of people stream more than 100 hours worth of gameplay, which is costing them more. So I continue to believe that GFN will eventually have a price increase coming up pretty soon. And I think that's always going to be running up why cloud is going. Now, let me see what y'all are talking about. Has Vinyl Records and player in his name? Has Vinyl Records and a player in his man cave? Oh, in his man cave. I have a vinyl player and or I have a vinyl. I have both. I have both. I don't play them though. Vinyl sound Rebolica, no it this is debatable. I would say vinyl. Did A-Tracks have a B-side like a vinyl? No. That's why that was what so all of these things have always been about data, right? Like A-Tracks could carry more data, and that's why they've then got better. But then they weren't like practical, so that's why they went to cassettes. And then cassettes gave way to, like I said, DVD. And then there's a couple of mediums, like trust. There's a couple of mediums I'm forgetting here. But that's why I feel like cloud right now versus like a console experience. It's all about data. I feel like there's some argument here to be made about like it's all circular. I don't know. I probably could make the connection, but we threw me off with the Lake Superior conversation. The question is, Will has been into vinyl since the 70s. You've been into vinyl since the 70s. Okay, so tell me, why would y'all say vinyl? Okay, I'm not disagreeing with you. But anytime I look at the actual experience, why people would say they like vinyl over analog, right? The reason I hear is more about an experience versus the actual sound quality. But y'all are telling me the sound quality is better, or you're saying the experience is better? Because those are two different things. I'm all about vinyl right now. You are. You all will go out when you want to listen to music and you get the vinyl player and you put the needle, you play it. The question is, will Sony, being one of the top two companies in gaming, want to stay in the market that going to be more retro niche or evolve and try to remain on top? Sony's going to do whatever they need to do to maintain their hardware. Sony is going to continue. If anything, right now, Sony is going to double down on their, in my opinion, Sony's actually going to double down on this idea that if you buy their hardware, you are going to more likely buy their software. And because they've seen, especially like that worked for them, they're going to double down. Like before, we heard that they were going to do like this, what do you call those games? Live service games. Not doing that. Virtual reality, they're going to maybe do that a little bit, but they're really not really doing that. What you're going to see from Sony is, again, you're going to see exclusivity from Sony. You're going to see exclusivity. And when I say exclusivity, meaning like you're going to have Sony and then PC. That's what they're going to do. You're going to get it on Sony first, and then they're going to put it on PC. Unless it's a multiplayer game, then you may see it sooner. But that's what I think you're going to see. If you have inconsistent or poor Wi-Fi, streaming isn't a great experience. I agree, Ruralica. I agree with this one. I agree with this. And that's why I believe you will always have hardware. As a cloud gamer, like right, as Stadia. I love it. But I'm more convinced now than ever that you're going to have essentially what you always have in markets, which is you have monopolies for an entire, like, you have duopolies, oligopolies, meaning you only have like one significant player in a certain segment. And I think Microsoft is trying to figure out where they fall in that world. And I think the answer is I don't think they're going to fall in cloud. I don't think they're going to fall in handhelds. I don't think they're going to fall in mobile. I don't think it's going to be console. I think that's the question with them, with Xbox, is that they are trying to figure out where are they. And I don't know where it is. I don't know where it is. And so when I think about what does Sony do wrong, what Sony does wrong is Sony knows what they want. And it's actually not a thing what Sony does wrong, it's what Xbox does wrong. Again, I did it because of the title. I'm doing an experiment to see if I get more views because of what I wrote about PlayStation. We'll talk about that later. A bunch of our maps, are Wipeout themed. If I send some to you, I will most likely make it. Okay, no problem. Just Robertson, just send it to me. Just send it anytime in a video, and I'll get it. I'm also making. The fact that some people don't know what a DS is scares me. Like Nintendo DS. Yo, hey Squids, what's going on, Squids? I was actually checking you out right before this. Everything is better. Remember, vinyl is the official format for Interstellar Crafts. Do you mean like the movie Interstellar Crafts? Like you said Interstellar here and I went to the movie. So I'm trying to see if that just got back from seeing Overlord, The Sacred Kingdom. Is that good? I didn't even know there was a movie called Overlord, The Sacred Kingdom. I can't take vinyl quality serious, as I heard there's always moving the needle. Oh my goodness, Holtz. I got that one. The contradicts taking their games to any platform, period. The only reason they won't make their games to Xbox because it's not worth it. Sour what do you mean that contradicts it? No, I think they're expanding to a new player base. But I understand. I think for me, Sony will always do what it has to do for sell hardware. I think that's what people forget. Sony, they have the numbers and they know if you buy their hardware, you're more likely to stay in their ecosystem of hardware. Like that's that's always been their strategy. Their strategy has always been about our equipment showcases media better. Like if you just think about TV, let's take gaming out of it. That's why they have like the Sony VCR, the Sony DVD, the Sony TV, the Sony movie projector, the Sony sound system, the Sony instruments. It's always about their equipment will play media better. It's always what they've been about. And so they're always going to stick in hardware. They're always going to try to push that. They're not going to go into this pure software world because then they don't do like not day and date at least. They're going to sell you software that you would normally get at a discount if you had bought the Sony hardware. They're going to sell that software at a premium to PC players later on. That's my logic. Wipeout was a Liverpool studio. Y'all are going everywhere. He makes Wipeout maps though. Wipeout Fusion, once where I'm at. So that's my logic. That's my logic. And so I forget, but I had this all laid out in a really nice, like articulate way to connect PlayStation to Xbox to cloud before. I don't know where that went, but ultimately, the thing about it is this, is that I think it's great that we have choices. And I think it's also great that during this time that you have Xbox trying to figure out where they play, this time that you have PlayStation trying to pivot back, this time that you have Nintendo like coming out with alarm clocks, don't ask me why, GFN, Luna, I guess we'll name the one that shall not be named, Boosteroid. While you have all of this, and they're all trying to figure it out, I think this is when consumers actually win. Once they figure it out, I think consumers actually lose. And so that's why I'm a little hesitant right now. Because I don't know if Xbox has figured it out. Once Xbox figures it out, consumers will lose. That's it. That's it. Because at that point, they will figure out where they can be and where they can raise the whatever. the price, where they can cut the costs, where they can do whatever it is. But until then, until they're kind of searching for a home, um, there will still be these arbitrage opportunities to actually benefit. Or so we'll see. Day one to PC will definitely never. It will not happen. Sour blow. Day one to PC for a single player PlayStation game will not happen. No, no, no. Maybe year one, but not day one. Makes no sense. Can you not read the script you wrote for tonight's show? I don't do scripts. I don't do scripts. I don't like it. Here's the reason I don't like scripts. I was actually I was conducting an interview, a really cool interview this week actually, and not on the show for my day job. And they asked me what the script. They asked me like, "Hey, and I said, "Well, here's the questions I'm going to ask you." Like, it was for a book, really cool book. And the book is called, I don't know. Y'all might be able to track me down. I won't tell you what the book's called, but it's about generals and stuff. And they asked me like, why don't I use scripts? And I say, because I'm gonna mispronounce the words anyway. I feel like when you have a conversation and you have note cards or a script, you try to fit the conversation to the note cards, and that's a very unnatural way of talking. Like, I just feel like it should just flow. If you are truly interested in the conversation, you're truly interested in the person, that's truly interested in the subject matter, and it's something you care about, you should be able to speak from the heart and have a conversation. I believe this is what's wrong with politicians, with business leaders, and so forth. Because I feel like too many times they are trying to speak from a note card instead of it actually being like managing, like from like how you lead, like, or like just managing a business, managing the affairs of the government, managing like whatever you have. Not what ends up happening is you end up managing communication, and you start to think about like, well, that wasn't the question we asked you before, or hey, we already have this preset approved answers, so if you're going to ask a question, make sure you get to these answers, right? And so it leads to this like situation where you no longer have like actual legitimate conversations. And so that's why, like, in a long about way, I don't use a script because it won't be natural. It won't be something like, it won't be, I think it can help you. I'm not telling you if you use a script, it doesn't help you. But I feel like it's like life isn't scripted. Like the best nuggets of a conversation happen when it isn't like, oh, this is what we're going to do. Like the best, I was about to say that, so I am going to say it. Like, if you think about it, like, the best sex is usually not when you're like, we're going to have sex now. It's like when it's instantaneous. You know what I mean? Or maybe that's just me. I don't know. But I think that's what, like, that. I think that spontaneousness, that type of thing, that's just like, it's so like, I don't know, this world is like in a certain place. I think it just, I don't know. Like, it got to flow. That's what I guess I want to say. It has to flow. And that means a lot of things considering what I just said, but it has to flow. Most games that release on PC cheaper. Do they day and date PlayStation games release cheaper on PC? Or not day and date? Purple, did you buy Alarmo? 2 of them. I agree. Xbox struggle might be the best thing that has happened to us gamers. If Microsoft was the powerhouse, it could be with. It will be. No, I think so. As long as they continue to not figure it out, you're gonna benefit. I got banned from a club for trying spontaneous. Don't I mean that's what rules. Why? What were you trying to do in the club for spontaneousness? Like that's the whole point. When you put rules into things, now that's what happens. That's what happens. Now, granted, will say you need to have like there needs to be um consent that there's spontaneous is gonna happen. Like, I don't think you should just do spontaneous when not spontaneous is expected. But when you are like having a conversation and someone's like, ask me anything, or someone's like, yo, let's talk about this, let's dive deeper in this, and you know what you're trying to do, then that's where you should do it. And if you truly care about it, like I said, if you're a leader or something and you truly care about what your area is, you gotta kind of like organize chaos. That's what it is. Organize chaos. Special P pays for sex with professionals, so has to be scheduled, booked, etc. Jeff, I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true, Jeff. I do not believe that. It's also sonically scripted, or so the theory says. Oh man, they have to know. That ruins the fun. They have no sour blow. Sour blow. Sour blow. Stop it. Like that's sour blow has had daughters. No, just got rid of daughters gaming, and now no. Smashing in a club is wild. Geek, how would you would come up with a story about this? About getting a cramp and stuff. Man, can't have anything nice nowadays. God, so, if you're a leader, definitely dive deeper with this. Oh my goodness. This is not going good. This is not going good. Jeez, y'all. Sex theory is scripted, or so the theory says. Sex theory is scripted. What? Is that a TV show? Sex theory? I feel like it's a TV show. Real life TV show. I don't know. Or not real life. What do they call it? Real world TV show? Let me get someone in here. Let me get someone in here. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna drop a link, y'all. I totally lost what the show was today. I apologize. I will next time not talk about the Great Lakes. Think Rebolica. Okay, she threw in Lake Huron, and once she threw Lake Huron in, my mind, I could not focus because I had never heard of that word. I had never seen that word, let alone wrote that word or said that word out loud until she wrote it. And it was like learning what's happening. But at the same time, I was trying to figure out if she was wrong about this. And once that happened, off to the races. Off to the races. Off to the races. Then it didn't help that when I looked it up, there actually was a Lake Huron. So then I was like, oh, geez. Finally, time for Holton Lo-Fi. I don't know. There's a sexual script theory bedded on sexual conduct. Beaded on sexual conduct? There's a sexual script theory beaded on sexual. I don't even know what this word means. I don't even know what you just said means, Holtz. There's a sexual script theory beaded on sexual content. When I see that, I think of beads and sex. Sex beads. I don't know it. I never have seen the word beaded used as a verb. This is so weird. He's from England. He can't even speak English. I don't get it. Do you think Purple knows there were people on these lands before us? Whose lands? Whose lands? Whose lands? There is a political theory out there that says they lost the war, Jeff. How about them apples? There are people that say we won it, they lost. So whatever they did, tough luck. Whole theory about that. Trust me, pretty popular as I guess I've seen. What's the thirst fest I've walked in on? Marcus, where have you been? Oh my goodness. World is coming to an end. There's a Lake Huron in I don't know, in North America. Supposedly it's in the US and Canada at the same time. Don't ask me how that's possible. Oh man, the lands you are sitting on. Sounds like the prologue to a horror film. That's what, Jeff, you're describing to me. I was trying to explain the Great Lakes conversation to Grant just now. He's never heard of Lake Huron either, has he? That's because I think, Rebolica, your school taught you something most of our schools have not taught us. That there is no There's Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, Lake Erie. There's 3 Great Lakes. I knew about those. Ontario, y'all are kind of convinced, but then you got Toronto mixed up with Ontario. Because I don't understand why we would call something Lake Ontario and something Lake Erie. Doesn't make sense. And then Huron, no one knows who that is. Like, I can kind of understand the other things, but not Huron. Huron, like Ron Slusher, Huron. I'm going to start calling Ron Slusher Huron. I know you've never learned about the War of 1812 in Texas schools. The 1812 Overture, I know about that. How about them apples? But Tchaikovsky, how about that? 1812, War of 1812 with Napoleon? That one. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, we have someone coming. We have someone coming in. Jeff? Jeff,
what is wrong with you?
What do you mean what's wrong with me? How do you say this word that Rabolica keeps writing? Huron.
Huron. Like Huron.
Huron, like Ron Slusher, Huron?
Huron, yes.
Huron.
Do you know that there were people in what is now North America prior to Columbus and those other people coming here? Do you
the Pilgrims. That? The Pilgrims.
Huron is an indigenous word.
What does it mean?
It's an indigenous. It's an indigenous tribe that was in that area. That is what it's named off of. A lot of stuff in Ontario and northern Michigan and stuff is named after the indigenous people.
Where are these people now?
You people kick them out. They're still around. They are still here. There are indigenous reservations. They are still here. So and Jeff, I also, and back to my other comment, I also know that you never learned there was a War of 1812.
So Jeff, let me get this right. You're going to try to convince me that we kicked a group of people out.
Yeah.
And we decided to name a lake after them? That makes no sense.
Okay.
That makes no sense. Think about it.
Do you know?
We kicked you out. We're naming a lake after you.
Do you know your White House was burnt down? Do you acknowledge that?
Is it? Well, did they repaint it?
They rebuilt it. You know it got burnt down, right? By Holtz and his people.
Holtz and his people can't even speak English. Have you seen Holtz's people? What he's been writing in chat? I have no idea. I think I get back on track. That's
because he's on his phone with the big thumb. So you have to kind of autocorrect with Holtz because that's just kind of the way he is.
Oh my god!
So we got to start with basic science. Then we'll move into some physics.
No, okay. Look, chat. I'm going to ask the chat a question. I'm going to put this poll in the. I'm going to put this in the chat. I'm going to put a poll in there. And all right.
You know how to do that?
The Great Lakes flooded.
Oh my god!
Would the water go up or down? And we're going to put this up. We're going to put down.
Do I bother mentioning that there's elevations and things? Do we talk about elevations, or is that did they not have that in Texas? She's gone. She's gone. You're gone. This is the read lips portion of the show, folks. This is the read lips portion of the show, or you get to listen to me, one or the other. Am I the only one that can't hear her? Did she get rid of me? Oh, no. Yes, I know you're on a phone, Holtz. It's hard to I know you got your fat fingers.
Oh wait, there I am. I'm back.
It's only been 115 episodes,
I'm back. We did it. Neither.
Then she's gonna blame
Rabolica. That's not even an answer.
What was the question?
If the Great Lakes flooded, would the water go up or down? They're going down.
What? How and how are the Great Lakes flooding? That's that question. That should be fun.
I don't know. I'm just telling you that the thing they taught us in Texas was that if the Great Lakes flooded, North America would flood. And then you made the comment that would give you lakefront property.
Yeah,
And I said that's impossible.
That was a joke because your future president said that if there was a flood that California would have new lakefront property. So that was a joke and a jab at your future president. That apparently went over everybody's head, and that's okay. He also said that we control the water with a big faucet, and that it takes 4 people to turn on this faucet. So that is also...
That's the question I don't get. Like, why would it take 4 people to turn on a faucet?
It does, because he says it's this gigantic faucet that we have in Canada.
I mean, can you prove it or can you not prove it?
Can I not? Can you prove leprechauns don't exist?
I can prove that they exist.
Can you?
Yes.
All right. Next week on Shades of Purple, she'll be interviewing a real leprechaun.
No. How do you come up with the leprechaun? How do you come up with the theory of a leprechaun if you've never seen a leprechaun? That's my whole thing with elves, with dragons, with all of them.
Drugs?
How could you?
Drugs?
Jeff, you know this. How can you come up with something if you haven't seen it?
Drugs? You're on drugs? So if we're going to answer your question, we're going to talk elevation? Because you know that there's elevation, That's why Denver, have you ever been to Denver? Denver has a higher elevation.
I was in Denver the previous
Did you notice the air was different? Did you notice the air was thinner because it's got a higher elevation?
Colder.
It's colder. Okay. When were you there?
More cool.
And more whatever cool. You do not say it's cold in the presence of one William SPG Piper, who is in North Dakota. Don't tell him that it was cold at Venice Beach, California, when it was in 50 of your degrees around him. When in North Dakota.
I already told you. I do not. Look, on SPG's channel, I made this very clear.
Opioids.
I do not refer to North or South Dakota as 2 separate places. It is Dakota. I don't know where we got off on trying to name these 2 things, North Dakota and South Dakota. It's just Dakota.
You didn't learn that in Texas?
No, it's ridiculous. Okay. It's just Dakota. Okay. Like, I don't get it.
What about the Carolinas?
That makes sense. That's Civil War. What did North Dakota and South Dakota? No, you're not going to convince me this. Why do we have 2 Dakotas?
This is the Canadian asking the question that he knows the answer to. Are they both not in the South?
Depends on what you mean by the South.
Below the Mason-Dixon line. Who's that? Who's Mason and who's Dixon? In the Civil War, was it not the North versus...
Look, we're talking about Dakota. Okay, we're talking about Dakota. We're not talking about Carolina and what she did. We're talking about Dakota.
So you were confused about Ontario and Toronto. Are you from Houston or Texas?
What class is this?
This is not a class. This is 2 people talking.
Are
you from Houston or are you from Texas?
Depends on who you ask.
I'm asking you.
Jeff, I believe if I tell you what I believe, that will reveal my political stance.
I'm asking you, I don't think so. Are you from Houston? So my question is based on you who are confused between Toronto and Ontario. Toronto is a city like Houston. Ontario is a province like Texas.
So you have states. So Ontario's
we have provinces.
Texas isn't a province. Texas is a state, Jeff.
They are equivalent to your state.
Texas is a state. Should be a country. was a country.
Texas was a country?
Texas was a country.
Then why don't you become a country again?
I don't live in Texas.
Okay. Anyways,
I don't live in Texas.
Yes. Ontario is like a state. Yes.
Is it like a state or a state? Because you said province, and we don't use the word province unless you're talking about Rhode Island. Providence. Providence, Rhode Island, by the way. Not province. Providence. So.
Same thing. We just
one has a D, one doesn't.
We call them the same. We just call them that.
All right, so let's go check our poll out.
Good.
If the Great Lake with the water go
yes,
up.
Yes, I know, Geek. Both
this is
Carolinas
not true, y'all. This is not.
I know both Carolinas are in the south.
Ridiculous.
That's why I asked.
This is ridiculous.
I asked the question. I said, "Does she?"
This is ridiculous, y'all. Y'all know the water would go down. This is. Oh my gosh.
Chat. Should I ask her about what displacement is? Does she understand displacement?
Like what we did supposedly with the indigenous people to get Lake Huron?
No. If you have a bathtub, what happens to the water when you get in it? She's going to tell me she doesn't take baths. I know that's what her answer is going to be.
It depends. Am I
still it does not. No, it does not. It does not depend on anything. It does not.
No, it does.
The
water usually cools down unless I replace the water.
I didn't ask about the temperature.
You just said what you just, Jeff, you literally just said when you have a bathtub and you get in the tub.
Correct.
What happens to the water? I said the water gets cooler.
Sorry, let me rephrase my question. You have a bathtub full of water. The water has stopped running. It is now finished. It is staying at a nice 92 degrees or 102. I don't know what temperature you like your baths. Really hot. That's irrelevant. Okay. You now get in it. What happens to the water? Does it rise or does it shrink?
Who gets in a bathtub and looks at the water, Jeff? I'm taking a bath.
Science.
I'm taking a bath.
Grade 9 science. All right. So I know what to get you for Christmas. Grade 9 science.
Taking a bath. Look, guys, don't.
Yes, Sour Blow, exactly. The topography of the graph. That's why of the land. That's why I asked her. Does she know that there's hills and valleys and all sorts of things like that? But I think Texas must be flat. She must not know.
Look. All I'm just saying is
about that.
In Texas, if it's not important, Texas would have taught us if it was important. That's all I'm trying to say.
Burple's puddle problem. Yeah, that's a good question. Well, that was great. That was grade 7 science. Okay.
For me.
All right, grade 7 science. All right, I guess we're going all the way back. All right.
I don't know.
We can do that.
What are you topography? Topography is about maps. What is this?
Exactly.
Oh, I'm
hills and valleys, elevation. Yeah, so that all affects if the water is flowing. It all depends.
Okay, if the Great Lakes flood, it's going south. We can agree on that. Going south, going down.
Okay. Is that what you mean by down? When you say up and down, I didn't know if you meant the sky. I don't understand what you mean.
It's going down. It's going south.
Okay.
Towards Mexico. South. Ooh. South of the border. That's why they call it... Jeff, did you know that's why they call it south of the border? Because it's the border of Mexico that's south of the United States.
Are you sure about that?
Did you know that about your Lake Huron?
I know it's not near Mexico. I do know it's not near Mexico. Texans believe the world is flat. Okay. Why don't you use rock and roll quotes? Rock and roll quotes. Get it? Do you get it? You don't get it. Okay. Holtz, why aren't you on here? Holtz, you're supposed... Where's Lo-Fi and his aliens and his conspiracy theories?
I finished updating map. I'll get to it, Robert's son. I actually have to figure out... I have to figure out my Xbox. Change the Wi-Fi on it.
If the world is flat, how come when in New York it's dark, but in California it's still bright?
I don't know. Ask Sarblow. He's the one that DR they teach it's flat. I'm not going to get into that debate.
Okay.
Because that is some people's religion. And we have a freedom of that, supposedly.
Well, not come January. That all goes out the window. But that's something for you guys.
Look, all I'm saying is I was educated in Texas.
Yeah, that actually says a lot. Holtz. Do you want on here? Holtz, where's Holtz?
That's all I'm going to say. I was educated in Texas.
Do you want to talk Xbox? Holtz, do you want to get on here and talk gaming? Where's Lo-Fi? Lo-Fi! Where's Lo-Fi?
Lo-Fi's in Texas. He can verify this.
I don't care. Where is he and his
He
aliens?
Can verify.
He's probably got. There was some guy.
Did you know Texas had its own dollar bills?
No, because I don't live in Texas, and I never studied U.S. history because you guys are mental.
Supposedly you're the expert on the Carolinas, Jeff. That's what I say.
Do you know why? Do you know why? I did a show for 75 weeks with someone from North Carolina.
Where did that get you?
No, apparently nowhere. He's apparently dropped off the flat Earth. Have you seen any hide nor hair of him? He's dropped off that.
Where's Ryzak? Where is Ryzak?
Where is Todd? Todd dropped off the. It's too late for me, and I'm too lazy to turn on my PF. Holtz, but you come on other nights, Holtz. It's purple and it's. I have a question for you. If you interviewed somebody on Monday? That is correct. Yes, right. You interviewed you were the interviewee, and there was an interviewer. Or you were the interviewer.
I interviewed someone.
Right. Okay. And if that person showed up 2 minutes late for the interview, what would you do or say?
Nothing, because they were the VIP. I was flown in to do the interview.
Okay. If you were interviewing a potential assistant and they showed up 2 minutes late for the interview, what would you say?
Does that mean my old assistant got fired?
No, your old assistant won the lottery and resigned.
Ooh, I would be so upset.
Mm-hmm. But you have to now replace that person. So you're interviewing somebody and that person shows up 2 minutes late. You guys know where I'm going, right? You know where I'm going with this, don't you? Where's Rouster? Rouster knows where I'm going. Ambi knows where I'm going with
Rouster's not here. If they showed up 2 minutes late, did they call in advance?
Nope.
They just didn't come?
They showed up 2 minutes late. Let's say
depends on what they said. Did they say like, "Hey, I showed up 2 minutes late"? Like
the scheduled time was, let's say, I'm picking a time at random, 8:00, and they show up at 8:02.
Texas was Mexico. Technically, technically, Texas was Spain before it was Mexico. Do you know that? Texas was Spain, and then it turned to Mexico, and then it was just Texas.
Sounds like you were stealing it again.
And then it went to the United States, and then it went to the Confederates. I believe Texas is probably the one state, not province, because y'all want to confuse the two. Texas is probably one of the few places that's been literally like several different countries. Maybe Louisiana, but we don't consider them a state either. Different story. Long story.
Okay. Anyways, back to my question.
Yes.
So the meeting is the appointment. The interview is scheduled for 8 p.m. I'm just making a time up randomly.
Okay.
And the person shows up at 8:02.
Did they tell me why they showed up late?
Nope. Just appeared at your door and going, "Hi, I'm here."
What else am I going to do? Okay, let's do this interview.
Okay. And do you think negatively of them? Do you understand where I'm going with this?
Jeff, I just know I'm not interviewing with you. That's all I know. That is all I got from this. That's all I got from this. If I turned up 2 minutes...
Everybody is confused as to what's going on, Ambi.
This is why I say there was never a time in history. This gets back to what I was talking about from the very beginning. There has never been a time in history that people can agree on the same thing. Ever. You will always see things multiple ways. Right? Like Jeff's talking about 2 minutes late. I'm talking about you're on time. Amy's talking about like taxes. I don't know what's going on. I was educated in Texas.
You know why I asked the question?
Why?
Because you always start your show late. That's why I asked the question. So I'm asking
No,
you if
I
someone
pressed
showed
the
up.
button at 8.
If somebody shows up 2 minutes, you've been number of times. I'm 80 going 802. Where is she? Somebody hit the button. So I'm just asking, if somebody showed up 2 minutes late, would that negatively impact your?
Jeff, are you sure you're not in a different time? Like, how do you know what time I see on my clock? This is actually a really good question. This is like, how do you know your clock is my clock? This is actually a huge thing. This is actually like, there was this guy, and he actually had to figure this out. How do you know your clock is my clock?
Because we're both sitting at a computer and the time is synced with the world clock. And if you use other clocks and you have wrong times, that's on you. Also, YouTube tells me it's 8 o'clock in time for your show. And I'm sitting here going, well, where is she? Is she coming?
So you're saying your clock is based on... Wait. Is your clock synced to YouTube, or is your clock synced to your PC, or is your clock synced to this magical universal time?
Yes, all three.
I don't believe that.
Okay. All right.
I don't believe that.
I want the Bezos clock.
Like, what time does your clock say right now?
9:31 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm not even going to get into that debate because I've given up.
Mine says 9:29.
Your computer clock says 9:29.
Mine says 9:29.
Your computer clock.
Whatever. This clock says 9:29. This clock says 9:27. This over here says...
Well, I think we figured out. I think we figured out the problem.
I don't understand. There's
your
different
clocks are all
times.
wrong. Well,
There's different times. This is actually like this. There was a commission done in England to try to figure out the universal time so we could figure out longitude and latitude. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, Jeff. It's actually pretty. It's. I guess you know Lake Huron, but you don't know time. Why did they not teach you time in Canada?
You are correct, Joe. It is now 9:32. That is correct, Joe. So if you're
they're so poorly educated in votes. I'm not gonna get into like the
You're not wrong, Rebecca. You're not wrong.
I'm not gonna get into that. All I'm gonna say is I was educated in Texas.
Yeah.
All right. And my vote counts.
Should we
let that noodle on it.
Should we go Zulu? Would that be easier
talk
for
about
you?
Sony again? We can.
Should we do time in Zulu?
Zulu time.
Would that be easier for you? Sorry, should I correct? I said 9:30 now 3. Should I have done it in 24-hour time? Would that be easier for you as a former military person?
Why don't y'all support the military anyway, Jeff, by Canada? Thanks for bringing that up.
We don't have a military.
How would you even know military time, Jeff?
We don't have a military.
Exactly. So what do you know about... I'm starting to be very... Are y'all catching on to Jeff here?
What?
He knows about the Carolinas, but he doesn't know about United States history.
There is no...
He knows about military time, but they don't have a military. You noticing a trend here?
There is no limit to my knowledge.
Knowing about a trend here. That's all I'm going to say.
There is no limit. Joe is correct. It is 21:34 now, Joe. I did not. You were correct. Joe is correct. I am wrong. I stand corrected. I should have done it. Rouster, thank God you're here. Oh my God, Rouster, where have you been? This show has gone off the rails. It's Rouster's fault.
No,
go back to the beginning.
Rouster's daughter won a color guard championship, and he was at the dinner to honor the color guard state champions.
Well, also, congratulations to daughter Roaster, to the Roasterette.
Do you guys like camping? I've not gone. Define camping. Because there's no, Jeff. There is camping. There's
Oh my God, somebody
glamping.
can somebody shoot me?
There's camping. There's glamping. I don't consider those the same thing. Like, do you mean camping like we go into a tent? Do you mean camping like we're camping with our vehicle? Do you mean camping like, oh, there goes, what do they call those things? A hut, a cabin? Or do you mean glamping, which is like at a hotel that's out in the wilderness that you call camping? Which one of those?
So Joe and I have the correct time. So can you adjust your clock on your computer and your watch so you are in sync with Joe and I?
In sync.
Not the band.
In sync.
Don't get up and start dancing, baby, 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 baby.
One more time.
Roaster, we really did break purple tonight.
It started with Rebecca. She threw out a name I had never seen before.
You didn't learn about the Great Lakes? They've been around for a while.
I mean, I do. To tell you the truth, up until today, I thought there was 4.
Of course you did.
I thought there was 4.
Of course you did. I'm actually surprised it was that many. I thought there would only be 1.
I knew. If you heard me, I was counting them down. I knew Michigan. I knew Superior.
Mm-hmm.
I could guess Erie because we have an Erie, Pennsylvania. So don't ask me why don't we call it Lake Pennsylvania? We call it Lake Erie, though. And then I could guess Lake Ontario because I guess we had to be equitable with Canada, which I get. I don't know why, but I don't know why we have Lake Huron. I don't know why we have that one.
Oh, most improved award. Excellent.
Or in a camping resort. Okay, camping is in a tent or in a camp. No, I agree. See, we can't even agree on what camping is. If there's anything we found out today, it's that we can see the same
you
word.
You were educated in Texas.
We can see the same word and come to different conclusions. We can see the same event and come to different outcomes.
I've learned that tonight. You would think after the amount of time I have spent in Texas, you would think I would understand that.
You could have different times and come to different times.
Yes, if you set your clocks all wrong. Can you fix your clock on your computer and your watch right now?
Why don't you fix your clock in your computer in time?
Because mine is correct.
That's what I would probably do.
Mine is correct with Joe's. Joe and I have the same correct time. Roaster, what time is it? Roaster?
Lake Superior sounds better than Great. I agree. Lake Superior does sound pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. I think they have the best.
Crow, just leave. Don't even Crow. No, Crow.
Crow, Jeff's trying to convince me that his talk is better
entire
than
show.
talk.
Crow, what time is it? In Eastern time.
He's trying to convince me that his time is better than my time, which I'm starting to see a pattern here. Jeff knows all about the Carolinas, but he doesn't live in Carolina. He knows all about military time, but they don't have a military in Canada. He now knows all about clocks in my time, but he doesn't live where I live. That's what I found out.
Paul says it's 2:38.
Paul, Mr. Byron plays. What are you talking about? Hey, there you go.
How come Paul and Crow came in the exact same time? There must have been some party I was not invited to. Anyways, what time does your watch say? What time does your watch say? Look at your watch right now. Look at your watch. Hold your hand up. Okay, or not. Okay.
The flash a torch. I don't know. So, Robert's son, have you guys been in Airbnb? I've done an Airbnb, not an Air A and B. What's an Air A and B? Sounds like
so apparently her watch is 2 minutes behind everybody. So that is why when she starts her show at 8:02, it's actually 8 o'clock for her. Because what does your watch say right now? What does your watch say?
This is what my watch says. I'm going to show you. I have not done anything.
It's 9:39. It's
I'm
9:39.
taking it off.
Oh,
I'm
it's
gonna
not
take it off.
digital. Oh, it's not even digital. It's not digital.
There you go.
Well, that was too fast for anyone to see. What does that say? It's backwards.
12.
Just tell me.
37. No, it's almost 38.
See, your watch is 2 minutes behind. Everybody in the chat, not just me, Crow, Roaster. You are 2 minutes behind Roaster. So can you fix your watch right now, please?
Why would I fix my watch?
I'm
you're on time.
Because you are 2 minutes behind everybody else in the chat. So you're saying we are all wrong and you are correct?
I don't think this chat is a great sample size. We have someone who's saying it's 9 o'clock, right? We have another person, Paul, saying it's a different time.
Focus on the minutes. Focus on the minutes. Don't worry about the hour. Focus on the minutes. It is now 9.
Right. Marcus, we're on the same page. This adds a degree of difficulty here. And this is what
40.
I'm trying to tell you all.
40.
There is a book that is about longitude.
Crow, she was asking if the Great Lakes flooded, would the water go up or down? So we're gonna all chip in and we're gonna get her grade. What did Robalka say? Grade 7 science. That's what we're gonna.
There's literally a book called Longitude. All right, Longitude, and it's about this guy named John Harrison. All right, and he had to build a clock, Jeff. And they go into how complicated. I talked about this on a show, and they go about how. That's why I'm saying what you're trying to say. John Harrison had to build this really complex clock, and it actually is like the birthplace of like a certain type of watch we use.
So your watch is 2 minutes behind Ambi and Roaster. So could you fix your watch so you have the exact same time?
What are you talking? It's 8:40.
Look at the minutes. Focus on the minutes. Focus on the minutes. Don't worry. Stop putting in the hour, people. Only put in the minutes. Put a colon in the minutes because she apparently can't figure out time zones. So
I'm just 41.
Saying the minutes is 41.
You realize times and watches have to do with a lot of gravitational forces and pulls. You realize that, like, that's why Omega is such a cool watch, because it went to the sun and it went to the moon and back. I'm just saying, like, I don't understand why this is an issue.
Because your watch is wrong, according to Ambi and Roaster. Don't listen to me.
Look at Marcus. He's putting this in regular terms. Let's bring this up, Marcus. Marcus, Internet of Games, right here. Look at this. He's actually on to something here. Let's bring this in. Let's bring this in. Let's bring that in. Look at that. Look at that. No, let's go. That's Rudix saying let's go. Let's go, Rudix. Rudix, they're trying to talk to me about time now. Look, there's no single time local gravitational deviation. I don't even know that gravitational deviation go together, but it makes sense. That attenuates another word. What we found out today, Lake Huron is a lake and attenuates is a word. 2 things we found out today. This is like Sesame Street. Google roll time purple. Okay, I can do that. Okay, what am I looking for? I have Google roll time.
We'd ask her to share her screen, but that won't go well.
I see a lot of... Look, all I'm just saying is, like, that's the problem with... I think that's why people don't quite understand people, right?
All I'm saying is your watch is 2 minutes slow.
This is the new world order. This is what we had a president who ran. I will add to that. A president ran on shaking up the new world order. And now if y'all are talking about world time,
we're just talking about your watch. Your watch is wrong. Your watch is 2 minutes behind the rest of the world.
This is probably what he's talking about. World time. We can't even agree on the time because we have a world time.
No, we can stop. We stop putting in the hours because that confuses her. Because she doesn't understand
world time. Why do we have a world time? Why can't we have a local time? Things to localize.
We do. But your minutes are still wrong on your watch.
Purple, you said gravity does down, but you're saying watch is going to the moon? That is what Omega's known for. That's why they have the watch that goes to the moon. That is what they're known for. The watch that they wore on the Apollo was an Omega. What do you guys think of drinks? What drinks? Depends on the drink. Depends on the drink. 1843.
Mm-hmm. Your watch probably says
643.
41. Your watch probably says 41.
Smart man.
Because you're 2 minutes behind.
Now it says 42, Jeff. It says 42.
You want to guess what my clock says and my watch?
Yeah, 42.
You want to guess
Y'all
what mine
think
says?
I'm joking on this? It literally says 42.
Yes, because now it's 45. Because your watch is wrong. You can keep showing us your wrong watch.
Jeff, that's the problem with today. We are saying people are wrong when they just may have a different time.
There is no such thing as a different time.
Different time, Jeff.
You are not living 2 minutes behind us. You are not. Where's Lo-Fi in the singularity? Lo-Fi! Where's Lo-Fi? Why is he not here? Need Lo-Fi. Lo-Fi, come on.
From Texas.
Probably.
Can you be my boss as I'll never be late? Your watch is wrong. Exactly, bro. That's what I'm telling him.
He's talking to you. I don't have a watch. Oh, wait. You want me to get my watch?
That's probably You don't have a watch, Jeff. How are you telling me the time? This is what... Y'all are understanding. This is today's stream. Today's stream is that we are educated in different places. And in different places, we have different words, different geographies, different times. And this is the confusion in the world. I don't know what that means.
It's the time. What do you mean? It's a 9 and a 46.
I honestly thought that was a Tamagotchi. I thought it was a Tamagotchi. I thought it was a Tamagotchi, and we had it. It was time to feed the Tamagotchi.
Joe, do you want to come talk about your game?
Tamagotchi.
I can't deal with this anymore.
A world clock is a clock which displays the time for various cities around the world. I get it. I don't think, but that is based upon someone's interpretation of time.
It's not anyone's, it's the world's interpretation.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, someone had to set the clock for that time. And I'm pretty sure at one time, everybody, like, there was a vote that happened.
Should we tell her that should we tell her that they adjust it? You know, they add a half split second every few years. Should we tell her that, folks, or do we not?
Wait, let's just agree. Okay. I just agree that there's probably a vote, and some people said, hey, we want the time to be 12:01. And then some people said, we want the time to be 12. And some people said, we want the time to be 12:59. And then they voted. And some people got the time to be 12:51. And some people got the time to be 12:53. No. I just so happened to go with the people who wanted the time 12:53. I don't understand why this is such a difficult thing. I don't understand.
Your watch is wrong.
What gaming Black Friday deals are folks eyeing in the States? That's a vinyl. I have them, but I have a vinyl and a vinyl player, but I don't play it.
You should.
No one can explain to me why.
I also
Rebelica, you try to explain this if she's still in chat. If y'all can explain to me why do y'all think vinyl is better than analog? I'm curious.
Holtz was asking about 8 tracks, and I couldn't put my hands on my 8 tracks, but I do have 8 tracks. I will.
So Jeff, why would you say vinyl sounds better? This is actually science, y'all. Why would you say vinyl sounds better?
It depends. It depends on if you got a very cheap $50 record player. No, it will sound like crap. Yes, Crow, that is exactly what that is. Notice I had it right at the fingertips. If you have it all depends on the equipment. If you have good state-of-the-art, expensive equipment, it will sound amazing.
What are you?
If you have a plastic piece of, Fisher Price record player, it will not sound fantastic.
Richardson, the only thing I can you can literally record a record. I'm not disagreeing. Like, look, I acknowledge that there's different points of view and there's different times. Jeff is the absolutionist. I just want y'all to realize in my world, there's some variability. Jeff's is not. So I respect people's point of views on this. What I'm trying to understand is that you can literally record the same sound from a record player. What makes that sound less rich than the actual record? And then if you continue to play the record, what happens, Jeff? It degrades over time. That's why they made another form to transform the data. By the beginning of June 20, all the best known ways to play Wordle outside of New York Times website were gone, including the game's original pre-acquisition home. Wow. It's because they bought it.
Rip. Rest in peace, Wordle.
You know, he sold it for like $12 million.
Is that all?
I know. But how do you make money from Wordle?
Clearly he has a bad legal team.
How do you make money from Wordle though? If you just have, how do you just put, like, I don't understand. It was a free to play game. I think he made off pretty well. No. You think he didn't do well?
No, I thought he could have gotten a lot more
than 12 million.
Mm-hmm.
How would you have, like,
now does that include royalties? I think he sold the entire thing. I think he sold the entire thing. I'd be okay. Oh. I'd be okay with a percentage of future revenues.
Well, vinyl captures music without compression. If my memory's, oh my goodness, compression means you're bringing vinyl captures music with.
It's got better range. It's got all sorts of stuff.
But you
know the music you play on your little iPhone is all compressed to crap. Right?
MP3s? No, look, I'm the one who has, I specifically do not stream music I do not stream movies for this reason, right? I do not stream movies because I understand the data is compressed. But what I'm saying is that we now have a point in time that you can, the sound range that vinyl can do, we actually have the equipment that can do the same thing. If not greater, no? You can play a record with a needle poked through a plastic stain. See, Republic, y'all are bringing this old school stuff. Y'all are bringing stuff I saw on 321 Contact.
Question. Since we're talking about Wordle, have you been on the New York Times Wordle page? Okay. My follow-up question was, above the game, what's up there?
Probably an ad.
Yeah. And so what does that mean? Because you asked the question, how you make money from Wordle.
But how would he make money? That's the thing, though. If he can't make it, how many people were going to Wordle before the New York Times bought it?
I do not know the answer to that question.
It
sounds like a good number. And if I was to get into the internet Wayback Machine and go and look it up, I bet you he had ads on his page.
Then why did he sell?
Probably because he didn't want to maintain it. Why did the guy who made what was that stupid game that they're gonna remake? Crow, help me. What's that game?
Most people would say all the games Sony remakes are stupid games. That's what Sony does wrong. There we go, guys. Made a full circle.
Okay, so Joe, thank you. Somebody fact check me. Over 300,000 people played Wordle on January 2nd, 2022. So that's 300,000 ad pages that got served.
Okay. So
hashtag ad.
So this is okay. So we can actually start to, if 300,000 people played Wordle on January 2nd, then this is equivalent to if 300,000 people watched your video on YouTube. True story. True.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
So someone who's getting 300 views per video.
300,000. 300,000 views on that video. Page.
So then we can.
Flappy Bird. Thank you, Paul. Why did the Flappy Bird guy give up?
Why did the Flappy Bird guy give up? Like the one who did Angry Birds?
No, Flappy Birds. I didn't say Flappy Birds. You remember the game Flappy Birds? Do you remember the game? Oh, you're going to say no. Never mind. I'll move on. Go on. Go back to your story.
All right, Rebecca. Thanks for coming by.
Good night, Rebecca.
We lost it. We lost it after Rebecca.
Next week, grade 5 science. Bring your textbook.
I think we're having black FCAT next week. We're gonna have FCAT next week.
So Joe says with a $7 CPM, which is low, they would make $2,100 a day.
Okay. So $2,100 a day. So then we say 2,100 times 365, which if you do 2,100 times 365, you're going to probably get somewhere close to like 730. So let's just call it 735,000. I don't know. Maybe a little. It's actually probably like 733.
766.
766. Okay, we're going to do 766. All right.
765, make a nice round number. Yeah. Yeah.
But okay, let's do 750. I like 750.
There you go.
750. So we're going to do 750, right? And if we had 750, why did I get that number wrong? Why did I get that wrong? Either way, so if we have 750, yeah, I got it wrong that way. I understand now. So if we have 750, when you have to then multiply that, when you project the cash flow of 750 out, and you're getting 12 million, you've now projected, you've given earnings for the next 15 plus years. How is that not a fair deal?
I think unless he was getting money still getting money today, portion of the revenue, portion of whatever, because that's how I would have structured the deal, then I think it was low. Considering, because you got to factor in the brand, the name recognition. Everybody knows Wordle. Even my 92-year-old mother knows Wordle.
He could literally take Jeff, but he could literally take 10. You got to do opportunity costs on that one. I think he made out well.
Okay. All right.
He assumes that he only have one ad on the page. I don't know. I just think 12 million. And if he had 12 million.
I'm just saying I would have negotiated a higher amount, and I would have actually negotiated. In addition to that, I would have gotten some sort of royalty, some sort of recurring revenue.
Now you can make the argument about royalties, but I'm just making the argument if you have a business that's making $750,000 a year, and you're like, hey, I'm going to sell that business, and someone's like, all right, what do you want to sell it for? And you come up with 12 million. For one, most businesses are only going to go 5 times earnings from the private market. So you're way over that already.
All right. We agree to disagree on that. Just saying, if I was negotiating the deal, I would negotiate it differently. But that's just
I don't know. I mean, I think he did well. I'm just saying, I think 12 million.
Good for him. Good for him. Good for him. But back to the original point. How do you make money on Wordle? And I only looked at the page for a half a second, and that's the first thing I saw was the ad. Even before the ad showed up before the page rendered.
Yeah, so that's why we asked the question, though. We asked the question so we could figure out how much to project cash flows out. And then once we projected the cash flows, it's
the original question was, how does he make money from Wordle? That's how.
Right, so we could understand it.
But Holtz, you're supposed to come on here. Oh, that's right. You're saying it now.
We're going to probably shut it down at 10. We're going to shut it down at 10. We're going to shut it down at the top of the hour, y'all. Thank you all for. I had an actual show.
That's 3 minutes for me.
4 minutes. We're going to shut it down in 4 minutes, y'all. Shutting it down in 4 minutes.
Now we know why.
Now debate over random topics.
Now we know why she's late. Now we know why it's late.
Jack Stover is an American musician, animator, and internet personality based in Pittsburgh. He is widely known for his VHS live action stop. What? I've never heard of this.
Where did you see that?
Which have been featured. Robertson's giving us trivia. I never heard of this guy. Alternate, how many? Hey, Rouster, no worries. So yeah, so we figured out a couple of things right today. Lake Huron is a great lake. Never forget that. We figured out Carolina, North and South. The reason why we have a North and South Carolina is different than we have a North and South Dakota. Figured that out. We figured out that Texas has been a country, a state, a province. It will become a country again. Figured that out.
So it's California. California wants us to seed too. There might be others. That's
They're
all I heard
probably
about.
not going to do that. They're probably not going to do that.
No.
And there we go. I've been having that up for a while. Thank you, Marcus. And what else did we figure out? Time. Everybody has a different interpretation of time, and there's no interpretation that is right. The world is round. They don't teach that in the Dominican Republic, as Sourblowh convinced us. Not going to make any judgment on that. It's part of his religion. And you can have a time. It's okay if you're 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, or 4 minutes late, because who's to say you're actually late? You might be on time.
You're not on time. No. If you are not early, you are late. There is no such thing as on time.
If you are not early, you are late.
Correct.
That sounds very down the middle. There's no room for gray in that, Jeff.
There is not. You're correct. There is not. If you said, Jeff, we are meeting at 8:00 in my office, guess what time I would show up?
Sony's decline. That's interesting, because some people would say Sony's ahead. Sony's decline is attributed to failure to adapt to shifting consumer preferences and technological advancements. The company's focus on hardware development and lack of emphasis on creating a resident user experience have hindered its ability to compete effectively. It's a weird thing to say, considering they're ahead of Xbox in this regard, but what would you say about Xbox then, Robertson? That's a weird one to come out of left field, but look, he might be educated in Texas, y'all. So I'm gonna leave it with. We learn either blame Texas education or heck fingers for. We've learned a lot today. But with that said, you're on time, you're late, and if you're early, you're on time. Ooh,
correct.
We'll bringing in some military. Jeff wouldn't know that they don't have a military in Canada.
Hey, our Navy is in Edmonton. Thank you very much.
That's in the Western. I've actually been there.
You've been to Edmonton? Nice.
It's on the West. It's in the West.
It is. You'll also know there's no water. But that's where our Navy is.
That says a lot. That's what I was about to.
It does. You're probably going, there's no water there, Jeff.
That's what I was about to come back with, but you already knew it.
So if you said, Jeff, we're meeting at 8:00.
Are you factoring in PC sales when you say they're ahead of Xbox Studios Purple? All right, Marcus, we talked about this. That yes, I am. Yes, I'm just gonna go with that. True. Xbox Series has a slight edge when it comes to raw. Oh my goodness, design. Oh my, the PS5 is the leader and arguably the most important category of all. It's boosts the game library. The Xbox simply cannot match at present. So how would you then say that the Sony is behind? I feel like you're using your logic's going like this. Your logic's like going the direction of the water flow of the Great Lakes flooded. It's going in both directions.
Oh my God.
Doesn't work like that. But thank you. You're wrong, then aren't you? Exactly. Robertson's wrong. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you for that. It is what it is. Or are we talking about the PC sales? I don't know. There's numbers. There's stuff. All right, y'all.
If you had a meeting when you were in the Army with your commanding officer and you showed up late, what would your commanding officer do?
Wouldn't happen.
But your watch is 2 minutes wrong.
Wouldn't happen.
Okay. Just checking.
It just wouldn't happen, Jeff.
Okay, good. Excellent. Is that because if you're early, you're on time?
It's hurry up and wait, Jeff. It's hurry up and wait.
Okay. All right. Are you going to move your watch ahead 2 minutes?
No. Why would I do that? Then I would be 2 minutes early.
Good. Good. That's a good thing.
No,
Being
we
early
just
is a
said
good
that's
thing. Being early is a good thing. So did you not just say you would be early to a meeting with your commanding officer? If you had a meeting at 8 o'clock with your commanding officer,
no, I would be on time with my commanding officer.
so you would be there before 8 o'clock.
I would be on time.
Before 8 o'clock. Thank you. Perfect.
Don't ask what a floodplain is, as that may. Oh. Floodplains are confusing because they're like 100-year floodplains, but it doesn't really mean 100 years. It's really weird. Educated in Texas. Trust me on this one. Xbox hardware revenue declined 42% year over year. Microsoft's chief financial officer, Amy Hood, told investors during the earnings call that this is expected to decline again in the next quarter. 3 months ended September 30. There you go. There you go. There you go. So if Sony is not doing well, this is actually going to make sense, y'all. We're going to make this connection right now. If Sony is not adapting to consumer demands and they fell behind, what does that mean Xbox is doing or not doing? I've said it many times, Jeff. It always comes back. It's circular.
It's quitting time.
Quitting time. Quitting time.
It's quitting time. It's
We
quitting
don't
time.
quit. We strategically
It's
maneuver
time. It's time to end the show, Purple.
All right, y'all. We are going to do that. We actually are, Jeff. Anything you want to end with?
No. You know what, Crow? Her time is completely different than everybody else's time. So now I know why. Now I know why she's always late for her show, because she thinks she's on time. Yeah, but she won't adjust her watch to be with the entire chat. The entire chat has the exact same time.
I saw a lot of different times in the chat.
No, they were all the same. The minutes were all the same. Oh, we're not even going to mention, Bruce. We're not even going to mention Newfoundland and how they're 30 minutes ahead of Atlantic time, because that would just blow her mind.
No, so, in my world of logic that you can have multiple times.
Not in minutes. Not in minutes. Minutes are all the same.
You just said Newfoundland had different times.
I did say that. You're right. I did say Newfoundland has different times.
Okay, then there we go, y'all. There we go. Thank you, Jeff.
But you're not in Newfoundland.
Yeah.
So
okay.
We are in the same time zone.
Maybe there's some people who like to average it out. That's all we're gonna say, y'all.
No,
with that said, everyone, thank you for coming by. Thank you.
Thank God she has a guest.
You can catch Jeff on Jeff's channel, Jeff Janak, World's Canadian Handyman. I'm Purple Haze. You know what I say? I don't care where you game, how you game, why you game, what you game on, how long you've been gaming. As long as you're gaming, you're good with me. And as always, the proof is in the playing. All right, y'all. Thank you so much.
Who's everybody got? Tyson or Paul? Who's everyone going tomorrow? Tyson or Paul? That's the poll you should have put up. Tyson or Paul? Quick, before she ends it. Tyson.
Paul.
Really?
Paul,
you're going
later.
Paul?
Peace.
Really? I got to go with the old guy. I
don't even know. I just know Paul's in chat. That's why I'm going with Paul. Later,
y'all.
She's
going with Paul because Paul's in chat.
Later.
Okay. She's going.